We use our pressure washers around the shop to clean up our equipment, and these pressure washers get dirty and nasty fast. Long story really short, one of our great pressure washers we loaned out to a buddy. Somehow in the mix, the oil cap got broken off, fell off, whatever. Oil exited the engine and the engine shot. So we have to replace it. I went online thinking I'm gonna buy a big 4,000 PSI, 4 gallon per minute one to replace it. And then I thought, man, that's gonna be like $1,100, $1,200. I don't wanna loan that out and lose it. I know you're all saying don't loan out your tools. Well, it happens. So the next thing I said, well, let's drop down. Let's look at a Simpson. They have maybe something 3,500 PSI, 2.5 gallons per minute. I'm looking in that area. They're still $600. So I cruise over to Amazon, find a Simpson over there, $409-ish. Maintenance-free axial pump. I'm not a big fan of maintenance-free. Obviously, it works if you don't maintenance anything. I like to change oil. I like to see what's going on inside this stuff. I do it more often than not, and whatever. So I thought, what else is out there? Ran across this Built Hard, and it stuck with me because of the movie Get Hard, and it just kind of was one of those funny things. And I'm kind of glad I went down this road. This was $300, and I kind of thought, well, let's just see what it has. Same axial pump that's maintenance free. The motor on this is 224 cc, and there's some funny stuff here. Let me show you. So this motor actually meets the air quality index of the US, and I was surprised that it went through all this. It says, you know, you can do this stuff, certified, California, all this stuff. But look down here at the bottom. Data manufactured June 2023 by the Doo-Doo Group. So not only do I have a Built Hard pressure washer with a Doo-Doo engine, I love pulling this out at this point in time because it just makes me smile. Sometimes pressure washing isn't fun, and this just makes me smile. And doing what I did here is not something I'm gonna ask you to do, recommend you do, or anything like that. This is gonna be a long-term test. I just really wanna see how this is gonna hold up over time. And I was filling this up. I was actually quite surprised there is a fuel meter on top, and yes, when I turned the camera on, I spilled fuel all over the top, trying to show you that there's a fuel gauge on the top, which actually works. It's neat to see because a lot of the other pressure washers I have don't have a fuel gauge on top, and I liked that I could look down, see where it was. I went to start it up, and this is nice because we have a fuel shutoff, we have a choke, and we have an engine on and off, and as I pulled it, I could get it to start. And then it would just mysteriously shut off almost immediately. And I was like, what the heck? I did it twice, and I finally figured out that the on and off switch for the engine is right next to the recoil. And as the recoil was let back in, it would turn the engine off. So downside to this Doo-Doo engine is that you have a power switch that is right next to the recoil that probably about 75% of the time, if you let go of the recoil without like guiding it back in, it will actually turn itself back off. Maybe that's telling me something. The rest of the time using it, it was great. Pressure washer actually worked good. We had a turbo nozzle on the end. Probably not recommended in most cases, but this is a lot of mud that's packed in these tracks, and I just really wanted to get in there and get this mud out, and that turbo nozzle seems to work well because you could pressure wash those tracks for 3-4 hours and still never get all the mud out. They just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So long term, that worked. We then went to the 15-degree nozzle. That put out some great pressure. Looks like this thing works good. I'm really thrilled. What I absolutely despise about it is the hose. If there is a hose that would be similar to PVC pipe, this is it. It winds up into a coil. It says that it's kink resistant. I'm sure you couldn't kink it unless you really pulled it because this thing just wants to stay stiff and tight. So for me, it's not a quick connect. I'm gonna buy a quick connect that I can screw into this. I'll put a link down below on Amazon in case anybody else wants to do this. It's really simple. I've done it with a lot of other electric ones. You get the same thing that kind of screws into the outlet, and then you can put your quick connect hose on it. This is only like a 20 to 25 foot hose. You need 50. If you want to go anywhere, you want to get away from this thing, you need a 50-foot hose. Then we will not use this wand either. We'll go to a little bit better wand that's out there, and we'll use this thing for a while and see what happens. Interesting to me that maybe you can find a $300 pressure washer, make a few little upgrades from one that you might have had before, and turn it into something that A, you don't mind if you loan out, and B, when it quits, I can buy another one and it might last as long as the $600 one did, or I might get more use out of it for my money. That is what I'm interested in. How long can a $300 pressure washer last in a way in comparison to a $600 pressure washer? Am I better off buying two of the 300s, or should I have just invested more money and got something that was a little more quality with a Honda engine instead of a doo-doo engine? That's, to me, the big question, and that's where I'm going with this, and it's interesting on my end because we spend a lot of money on equipment and parts and keeping things clean, maybe to our detriment. Now, one thing that has not failed me yet, and I've had this in a ton of different videos, is this Ryobi pressure washer soap. It's not a foam cannon. I think they call it a soap cannon. It doesn't foam things up, but you can adjust the nozzle at the end. You can turn the soap on and off. I have the soap on it at about half. This dude is awesome because you can put bleach through it. It's at the end, don't matter, doesn't go through the pump. You can do anything you'd like to this guy, and it just keeps kicking. This thing was like 20 bucks back in the day when I bought it. It has been around here for years, and I love it because you can cover something in soap, let the soap kind of do its thing, scrub it off afterwards, and life's good. I use it on cars, I use it on all our equipment, I use it just about everywhere. That rocks because degreaser, awesome. Throw it in there, can use it with some pressure. It's not like hot water. It is not like a hot water pressure washer. With that said, those are like $3 to $5 grand. Not paying it, don't need it, is what it is. I'm interested in what you guys think of this built hard pressure washer with a doo-doo engine. Seriously, do you think I'm on the right track or wrong track with thinking I could get a lesser expensive pressure washer, especially when I'm at the bottom end looking at a $400 Simpson with the same axial pump? Am I actually getting something that could be the Simpson here for less, or am I just buying doo-doo? I'd like to hear that in the comments. If you could let me know. If you have experience with this, let me know. I'm kind of going down this road a little bit blind. I haven't found anyone else that's trying to do this, and I just need to save a little money because we are spending it crazy this spring, and this seemed to make sense. Comments below. Give us a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.